Hey guys, it's Hayes with CheatSheetPros.com, your source for sports betting, player props, and daily fantasy information. We're ramping up the YouTube videos in 2022, so make sure to go ahead and hit the subscribe button down below. And if you like our cheat sheets, the stuff we discuss in our videos, you're welcome to try them for free on Thursdays in our free Facebook group. The link is in the description. So let's go ahead and get started on our player props for today, February 1st, 2022. I live in the Kansas City area, so we suffered a brutal loss to the Cincinnati Bengals this weekend, and now we're expected to get 7 to 12 inches of snow over the next 2 days. So you'll probably see a lot of content from me because I don't get out and about a whole lot when we get the snow. So real quick, if you're new to Cheat Sheet Pros and watching our videos, today we're looking at player props. I use Prize Picks for the line that I'm going to dig into. And this is our NBA cheat sheet, which is used for sports betting, daily fantasy information and projections, and player props. So one of the things I do is I use this sheet to point out players that I can go dig into and look at their game logs. There are hundreds of players, and each player, they've got points and rebounds and assists and three-point shots made and what they ate for breakfast and what they like to drink, etc., etc. You just can't look at all of them. So I use this sheet to narrow down about 15 to 20 players, and I write them down in the morning, and then as the projections come out, I go through, look at them in the afternoon. Also on this sheet, some of the things that I really like here is I have their minutes, the last 7, and then their projected minutes today. So you can see if there's a dip in minutes, if a player's in that 20-25 range, or if they're in that 30-35 or better range. Also over the last week, you can see how many games they've played. So if it's one game and they're showing a huge influx, go look at their game logs and get an idea. I like to see 2 or 3 games. The reason is if a player gets hot for a 3 to 5 game stretch, they can't increase that line enough so we can take advantage of it. So one of the guys is Gary Trent. His point prop total is always 17.5, and he's putting up 30. And so I was shocked today when I was driving to Costco to stock up on some stuff, and I saw someone in the chat post that his player prop was 17.5, and I was like, oh my God, I cannot wait to get home and lock this baby in. So when we do this, I start over here at PRA, I sort it high to low, and then I start going down and look at these 30-minute players, and then just finding which ones are exceeding, which ones are going over in points, rebounds, assists, and kind of earmark them. And you can even do the PRA. So in all the other videos, I've highlighted these and pointed them out to you, so I think that's kind of beating a dead horse. You guys know that. So let's go ahead and get started and take a look at some of the cards that I like tonight. So I'm going to go ahead and give you my 4 favorite plays right off of the bat. So if you don't want to spend a lot of time watching the video, if you don't think my voice is beautiful, then that's perfectly fine. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first one we have is Gary Trent. He's the top guy on our list on the cheat sheet. And I was blown away, like I said, at 17.5 points. We're definitely going over there. So he's got over 30 points in 4 games straight, and they're still releasing it at 17.5. So this guy has to be due for a dud, but over the last 5, you can see he's averaging 28.2 points, and he's at 17.5. Makes absolutely no sense to me. He continues to hit this number night in and night out for us, so we're going to go ahead and go with it. The favorite play number 2 is Jacob. I don't know how to pronounce his last name. We're going to say Poetel, or whatever. His name is Jacob. That's what we're going to go with. So you could do points here, or you could do his PRA. If you're looking at his PRA number, you can see he's been over it in 5 straight games, but there's not a lot of wiggle room. He's really close to that number. So if you're picking one, I prefer his points prop because 12.5 is easy to get, and everybody for Golden State is out tonight. There's no Curry, there's no Wiggins, there's no Draymond Green, there's no Klay Thompson. I don't even know who's going to be on the floor, but he only needs 12.5 points, and you can see over the last 4 games, he's got 18 twice, 21, and 25, and we only need him to get 13. I think that is highly likely. So that is the second play that I like tonight, is Poetel to go over that 12.5 points. Whoop. Let me leave that up there so we can do our card. The third play that I really like, I was digging through some assists, and I really like the Van Vliet assist. That's one that jumped out at me, and of course we're going over here. And looking at his assist, he's got 11, 8, 8, 12, and 12. So what I look for when you see this projection line, so this is 7. This is where his number's at. I want to see, is he barely over, barely under? If so, that's a good line. But when you see this constant over, and we've got some wiggle room in here, so with 11, 12, and 12, he's been substantially 40% or better over that number. So that's something that we do like to see because we could hit it earlier. I don't want a prop where 2 minutes left in the fourth quarter and I'm like, oh my God, Van Vliet, pass the ball. We need one more assist. I don't want to do that. So what I love about this number is it's 7.0. It's not 7.5. So 7 gives us a push. So that's kind of a safe number. So it would take 6 assists or less for us to lose this leg on the card. 7 is a push, and at that, we're free rolling up from there. So I think it's highly likely he is 7 or better again tonight. So that's going to be my third leg of my card. And then the other one I like is DeJounte Murray assist. So let's go ahead and pull him up. I love seeing these free throw props. They're so fun. Look at this. He had 7, 8, and then 2. I don't do any free throw props. I want to, though. They look like so much fun. But anyways, we're looking at DeJounte Murray assist over 8.5. Now, we do have the hook here. I wish it was 8, but it could be 9. So 8.5, we'll go ahead and take that. He's been at 10 or more in each of the last 5 games with a high of 12, and he's hit that number twice. So 8 is probably a floor for him. It could lose, but I think it's highly likely he goes over. And if you get a 5-man card together, you can lose one and still get 2 extra money. So that's not terrible on Price Picks. So over the last 5, you can see here, he's averaging 11 assists per game. And we're at 8.5, so we only need 9. So that's something that I really like, especially against Golden State where everybody is out tonight. So we're going to put him on there. So for the power play card that pays 10 extra money, these are my favorite 4 plays right here. We have Gary Trent, Jacob P., Van Vliet, and DeJounte over. Now, pick any one of the next plays if you want to do a 5er. I know everybody likes to do 5 because if you go to 5, then it becomes a card where if you hit 4 of 5, you still get double your money. 5 of 5, you get 10 extra money. So it gives you a little bit more of a cushion, and then it pays something for if you hit 3 of 5, like half your money back or something. I don't know. Usually at that point, I'm like, let's move on to tomorrow. I'm not going to look at it. So these are my favorite plays. Now I'm going to run down a list of additional plays, and we'll take a look at them, and you guys can decide if you like them or not. So let's go ahead and take a look. Patty Mills points. This is one we had the other night. You can see he's got 24, 21, 15, and 21 over the last 4 games. So 21 or more points in 3 of the last 4 games, and we only need 14. I like that. There's a high probability he goes over. This would be the 5th leg on my Prize Pick card if you want to do 5. I'm trying to debate if I'm going to hammer 4 or do a 5 ball or mix in a 5 a couple of times. Running down the list, we talked about Gary Trent. I also don't mind going Kyrie Irving over. His points prop, the one thing that worries me, and this is what I wanted to show you, you can see this line, he is like right at the line, barely over, barely under, barely over, barely over, so there's not a lot of wiggle room. You're likely not going to hit this prop until midway through the 4th quarter, so it's a little bit of a sweater, you could say. But I do like that if you're looking for some Kyrie action. And what I recommend is take the guys that you want to watch, you want to follow, the games you're excited about. You know, if you don't like Detroit and Orlando, don't go take their player props and then wonder, oh, what are they doing? I don't want to go look at this game, la, la, la. And in our chat on my way to Costco when I was going to stock up stuff for the snow, people were talking about Karl Anthony Towns, 8.5 rebounds. So I pulled it up. I took a look at it. He's been over it in 4 straight. He even had 17 against Portland, 12 against Golden State, 9 against a tough Phoenix team, and 11 against Utah. He does have a tough matchup against Denver tonight, but 8.5 should be doable. I don't think 9 is out of the question by any means. So that's one that I'm going to give it to the chat guys. I wouldn't mind taking a look at. Now, I hate taking Detroit players, but Saddiq Bey, if you want to get some action on him, he is enticing. He's the thing I just can't quit. I always have some action on him. And you can see here, he's got a low of 11 points, and then he's got a high coming off of 31 points. So he's all over the place. But what I like about this is on that 31-point game, if you had over 15.5, you're likely there by halftime, and then you don't have to sweat it anymore. Looking at his other numbers, his PRA number isn't bad, his fantasy score. So either one of these, if he goes over one, he goes over the other, which you can see he's over in all of them each of the last 3 games. So I don't really care which one. If Saddiq Bey's your guy, pick one, roll with it. I don't know what I'm going to do with him tonight. And Trey Lyles, I don't think they had him up. Another guy I wanted to look at was Jimmy Butler. Oh, and they just got one of his up. It wasn't up the first time I ran through. So fantasy score of 42. He's coming off, oh Lord, 78.8, 57.7, 38, and then 58. Holy moly. So I'm really interested to see what his points, assist, and points, rebounds, assist number is. They didn't have anything up a minute ago, but now they're starting to get him in there. So that's one I want you to keep an eye on. We took a look at Poeltl already. Franz Wagner is another one. If you like running Orlando players, I don't mind him. 15.5 points is a low number, and that's something I try to go after and I try to look for. So you can see he's been over 18 points 4 games in a row, and we only need 16 against Chicago, who should score a ton of points. So like it, don't love it, but it is someone, if you're on the Franz train, I don't mind jumping in there and taking a look at it. Assist, we looked at DeJounte already. Jokic, I don't think they had up. They still don't have him up. Towns assist, this one's kind of interesting for me because it's only 3.5. And in a tough matchup against Joker down low, he could dish the ball out a little bit more. And over the last 3 games, he's got 10, 5, and 6 assists, but we only need 4. I like these low numbers that are easily obtainable, so that's one that I've got earmarked to take a look at. DeRozan and Edwards were 2 more. The Van Vliet assist we looked at. And let me look at the Patty Mills assist. Actually, they don't have him up yet. All right, let's go and look at the Edwards assist. He's one that I earmarked that showed up. And do they not have an assist for him? I guess they do not. Let's go see if they got one for DeRozan. DeRozan, where'd you go? 5.5 assists, so let's take a look at this one. So he has 10, 8, and 7, and he only needs 6. It is a kind of a stupid matchup against Orlando, which they should blow him out. But again, he's been pretty consistent with his assist, averaging 6.2 over the last week. Number of 5.5. I don't mind going over there. But anyways, these are my favorite cards here that I have. I would take these 4 here, and I'll leave them up on the screen for a minute, and then mix and match that number 5, whoever you want. I've got Patty Mills. I've got Towns rebounds. I've got all these other guys in here that I want to mix in and get some action on. But anyways, using the NBA cheat sheet, these are the player props that jumped out at me, so I wanted to put them out there for you guys. So I'm going to get this video uploaded, so hopefully you can get these locked in. Good luck.